talk to you now about Trey Trembo, the new transfer from West Point in Army. He's a local kid, which I think is really neat when you can bring a local kid into the fold in any situation, any club. When you look back at his career, coming out of Parkland High School, had the success he had, gets recruited by you, by money schools, but he chooses Army. Lafayette has that military law enforcement background in his family. I think really influenced him. And now 2 years later, he's back home at Lehigh in this area. I had the chance to sit down and talk with him. Fascinating young man. I hate to even use the word young because he's got a lot of experience. I feel like he really cut his teeth down there. And I'm just curious what his journey looks like to you. What do you have? What thoughts do you have about it?
No, I think he's obviously recruited him. We recruited him coming out of high school, and he chose Army, and understandable. It's sometimes I get it's a hard thing to turn down, and especially with his background and everything he had. But we're so excited when he decided to come here because, again, like I think he's mature beyond his years, and he's very grounded, and I don't think moments are too big for him, so to speak. And you're recruiting somebody who's leaving a program, and we have an established starter already in place with Luka Yoder, who's Conference Player of the Year, and but he still chose us, and I think that was a great thing for us because not only does he have the depth and talent and all the things that he has, but just the makeup and just his ability, his leadership ability. You're not going to West Point if you don't have leadership ability, and that's one thing. I think we do a great job here. Is we're trying to develop our guys in all phases, and leadership is a very important one, so that they're not only leading themselves, so to speak, but they're able to lead others and guide others. And having somebody of his makeup and the type of person he is was just an unbelievable thing for him to choose us.
Yeah, that's great to hear. When I sat down with him, he mentioned the organizational culture part. He was buried on the depth chart at Army, and one of the reasons he wanted to come here, many, was get some more opportunities. And we talked about Luke had an amazing year, Conference Player of the Year, and he said, "Well, I want to be around great players, and I want to be in a good culture." So hearing that, I'm sure as a head coach, has to make you feel good that players talk about the culture part, not just getting playing time.
Oh yeah, no, I think that old saying is true. You surround yourself with great people, you'll do great things. You surround yourself with people who don't want to do great things, you're not going to do great things. So, and I think that's an important piece for us, in the recruiting process. What drives them? What are his ultimate goals? I think when you look at Lehigh, we've had football success here the last couple of years, which has been unbelievable. But at the same point in time, this is a great school, one of the tops in the country, and the challenges and things of going to school here are real. So you have to want those challenges. You have to want, get up early for classes, study a little harder than you might at some other places, and when you get that person who wants that, that's how they live their life. And I've been around guys, where may be great athletically, but don't really have their life or priorities in order, and they had talent to possibly go into the NFL, but the other part of their lives, because I think we talk about it here all the time, like how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you have that mentality, this is a great place for you. If you don't, it's going to be hard because there is a lot of things that you have to manage in your career here.
Wow, fascinating. I love to hear about the inside of Lehigh. I think that's a great recruiting piece. People should watch this video. Come here, do some hard things, but level up and become not only a great player, but student person. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. All right, Coach, last question. And I love to ask this of high performers because the behind this, people see what they see on the field or on the TV or in a social media clip. But next year is your 40th year in coaching. How have you maintained a passion? I imagine you have to have support at home. Like, how do you stay in this profession as long as you have been?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about support at home. I got a great wife and two great kids, and two girls. One's getting married this summer, so really excited about that. But it's, without them supporting what I do or believing in what I do, and especially the kids, as they've gotten older, they see that it's more than just the football, and they understand that. And I think it just goes back to like when I was coming out of high school. I was the first one in my family to go to college. I would not have gone to college if it wasn't for football and athletics. I have two brothers who played baseball. So athletics drove us to be able to go to college and get degrees. And really change the direction of family and lives and the futures of our kids and down the road grandkids and things. So, but it's just I knew the impact it had on me, and I felt like I wanted to have the same impact on others, and teaching, coaching, those types of things where I felt like I best fit, and never knew it would lead to here. Being quite honest with you, it was just work, and fortunately people just kept offering me new opportunities, and kept doing things. But I think early in your career you're sort of driven by the chase a little bit of jobs and levels and things. And like I said, I was fortunate to do some of that, but the last 10 years it helped me to recenter what I was really doing. And that's where coming to Lehigh, I think, has been such a great thing, because you have high level athletic performers, and we're going to have 4 guys possibly have a chance to be in NFL camps off of last year's team. And so you're coaching a high level player, and but at the same time you're just coaching a high level person who also is chasing the academics. We got a whole bunch of guys, a couple in particular right now, who are formulating business plans, for when they graduate, and they're already started. And it's fun to watch their excitement with those things. And so to have all those pieces together, and to get them to understand that this next 4 or 5 years when you come to Lehigh is not about just the 4 or 5 years. The 4 or 5 years, yes, it's going to be fun, it's going to be great, it's going to be hard work, but the benefits to graduating and becoming an alum, and we do expose our guys to our alums at a very early point in their career for those reasons, so they can get to meet them, get to know them, and get to know their stories, and get to understand the paths that they chose. And I can't say enough great things about our alums, and the time they spend with our guys. And it's not just about jobs and things. It's really the whole thing, just like when they're here as players, developing the relationships, and when you develop real relationships, so you got some deep bonds. And I think we do a great job with our guys. Our guys do a great job of developing real relationships while they're here, which are going to carry them through friendships for the rest of their life, but then the relationships with other people who touch them every day, and not be afraid to have real conversations and put your phone down and be a little deeper. And but no, it's so much fun to see the total person and development of them as they're here.
Give me a helmet, Coach. I'm ready to go now. That was amazing.
I appreciate it.
No, I really appreciate your time. We're really rooting for you guys. I mean, the success you guys had the last few years, to see the camaraderie. I've even got to talk to some players on campus just on my normal course of my duties, and they're all respectful. And I'm like, all right, 8-0, 9-0. I kept calling out the record as the season went on, and just brought everyone together, and it was really cool. So we're wishing you all the best going forward, and congratulations on your appointment, head coach.
Oh, thanks again.